Welcome to the Sparkle Sesh. I'm Suzanne Castle, your host and Chief Sparkle Officer. This is the show where bold conversations meet actionable inspiration. Every episode, we bring together powerhouse panelists to dive into the topics that matter most: leadership, resilience, branding, visibility, and everything else in between. It's all about big ideas, meaningful connections, and fresh strategies for ambitious women like you. So grab your favorite drink, pull up a seat, and let's get the conversation started. It's time to shine brighter, bolder, and better than ever. Welcome back to the Sparkle Sesh. I'm Suzanne Castle. I'm your Chief Sparkle Officer. Today, we are diving into the topic that has everyone buzzing all over the planet: AI in the workplace. That's why this episode is called AI, Automation, and the Future of Work. Now, if you're thinking, AI sounds exciting, but also overwhelming, you're definitely not alone. Some people fear it's going to replace them. Others don't even know where to start. But here is the truth. AI doesn't replace your sparkle. It only amplifies it. I really and truly believe this. And to help us break it all down, I've got not one, but two powerhouse women with me today: Ali Porter and Elise Smith, the co-founders and CEOs of Millionaire Momentum AI Agency. Ali is the heart-centered visionary who knows how to connect people with high-impact AI tools and growth opportunities. And Elise, she's the strategic powerhouse who's helping businesses scale smarter and faster through custom AI systems. So as you can imagine, together, they're blending that bold vision with smart execution. And today, they are here to help show us how AI is going to free up our time, help us grow our businesses, and of course, help us keep shining. Ladies, welcome to the Sparkle Sesh.
Yay! Oh my gosh. Thank you for having us.
So excited that you're here. Okay, there's a lot of misconceptions flying around. And as I said, AI feels exciting, but let's be honest, it's a little intimidating for a lot of entrepreneurs, for a lot of business owners. So from your perspective, what do you feel is the biggest misconception that business owners have about AI in the workplace right now from your vantage points?
I would say for me, I think that, again, what you were saying earlier, that people are worried that they're going to be replaced or that they're, not going to be needed anymore. But I believe that, again, when we use AI in the right way, it just enhances who we already are. It actually allows us to be more creative, more efficient, more able to get more done in less time. So we can actually, and on my side, again, the visionary side, be able to have more time freedom, being able to just be able to do the things that we love to do, but also be able to spend time with our families, being able to, do all of that. So that's my take on it.
Yeah.
How about you, Elise? What are you seeing?
Yeah, completely agree. I think that it's important to remember that AI only works with HI, right? You have to have that human intelligence in order for AI to actually work. So there's this fear of robots are going to take over the world. And we start thinking about, movies that were created many years ago where that happened. And as long as we're smart about it and we don't let AI create AI, which is, as we own this AI agency, that's something that we're really intentional about. You always work with a human and AI agents to be able to really get that powerhouse effect. So it really becomes powerful for sure.
Okay, so that already takes some of the pressure off, right? I love this conversation already. It's not about the robots taking over. There's no Terminator that's stepping on skulls, right? We all know that the image of that movie that Arnold Schwarzenegger helped bring to the screen. It's about making your life easier. I love that. Who doesn't want a life being easier? I always think about the Jetsons and Rosie the robot, right? and the flying cars and all of this. But I love how especially your agency is about making business stronger in the middle of all that. And this, I love that HI and the AI, the blend of the two together. And so you talk a lot about AI to scale smarter, not just faster. And I know I'm in a lot of groups, I'm in a lot of conversations right now because my clients want to know a lot about AI. So I feel like it's my responsibility. I'm trying out different tools. Sinatra is one that I'm really spending a lot of time on right now and trying to feel like is this kind of because it's a lot of different tools in one. How does that work? Is that a good thing for entrepreneurs to be playing with? but it's not always about faster. We do want to be smart with our time, especially because things cost money. So what does it look like? Elise, let me come to you first, to create a business where AI handles the heavy lifting, but the business owner or the CEO still gets to lead with vision and creativity and maybe some heart.
Yes, what a great question. And we actually interviewed someone on our Mastering AI Momentum show the other day that came up with this concept of making an AI contract or agreement with your company. Let's say you have multiple people in your company, or even if it's just you, where is that line for you where AI starts taking over and you lose that human component? For example, we interviewed a marketing company and they have a very strong line that AI helps them with automating the tasks that don't need the human piece of it. But in order to create the content, that's always from a human being. And it starts there and then it goes into AI. And so I think that that's one thing that can really help, especially with the fears around AI as you're trying out different tools, or someone's building you a full AI agent like we do, that you want to know where that boundary is. And you can even just talk to ChatGPT about it. What are some tasks that you would never delegate to AI so that it keeps that human part of your business and you really do still have that heart-to-heart connection with your audience and your clients?
So I love that. The idea that I'm going to say, because I was in entertainment, that AI is your backstage crew, right? You're still the one on the stage with the spotlight, but this kind of crew, that's the blend I think that most people are after. And I love the way that you framed that, Elise. But let's dive into maybe some practical magic. Okay, Allie, I'm going to look at you here. So what are maybe give us 2 ways, or let's do 3. What are 3 ways that we can immediately start using AI in our workflows? Like, what would you say would be saving time or boosting our revenue without needing to be super techie? Let's face it, a lot of us aren't really up on whether it's Gemini or whether it's, Gamma or whatever the platform might be. How could we do that? Let's make it relatable right here.
Yeah, so I would say there's a lot of different ways to do it. I would say probably in the I definitely love Gamma. I'm a huge proponent of Gamma, especially because I'm a visual person. And so being able to use whatever AI you want to use, whether it's Gemini or ChatGPT or whatever it is, right, to like help you to conceptualize maybe like a presentation or even like a sales script or something like that, but then putting it into Gamma to like make it more visual. That is definitely one way that you can save time and be able to do that. In fact, I was able to do that with my own presentation for the M2 lifestyle side of what we're doing with our business. And so it helped to, it was interesting because it started out as me just having a conversation of like, this is what I'm wanting. This is what I'm feeling about this certain thing, or this is how I need it. And then it just like organized it all into this like flow for me. And so I will get to your question in a second, but I just want to make this point. When you are creative, like myself, you are, well, I have ADHD, so I am all over the place all the time. And it's so nice to be able to have a tool that allows you to like organize and streamline things in a way that your brain doesn't actually do, but you can take your creativity and then pour it into that. And then it kind of, makes it flow, which is really, really nice. And so that's one way I would say is being able to take something from ChatGPT and then put it into Gamma and then, make it run. One way that we do with our agents is we actually work on the sales side, and I can let Elise kind of talk more into that because that's kind of her expertise, but being able to take not just something generative, but something agentic where you actually need them to do something for you. You can say like, hey, can you, pull these leads for me? Can you, go to LinkedIn and do this and that and the other? And it can actually do the stuff for you. Wow. Which then saves you time as well, which a lot of people don't even know that that's possible yet, but that's why AI is so cool because there's so many different ways to do it. And then the last thing I would say is, I want to say that our personal lives and our business are intertwined. So if you're able to be in a good space. And I know, especially at your event Verve and all of that, it's all about the sparkle, right? It's about who you're being, and the business will be a byproduct of who you're being. And so we also have an agent that can actually help you to get unstuck and help you to work through whatever it is that you're needing to do, you know? And I think that having that actually helps to make the business better because you are better and because you're able to work through things better. And it doesn't ever replace like a counselor or anything, but it is something nice to have in your pocket to help you work through the framework of like, I have this issue, whether it's business related, whether it's personal, whether it's whatever, but I have this framework to work through so I can condense the time between when something is like what used to take maybe weeks and months to like work through in a personal or business setting, you can condense now into, days and hours because of this framework that we have. So there's a lot of different ways to use AI in your business and in your life. But I have found that thinking outside the box is the coolest part. And then once you ask the question, because AI is no better than the person asking the question, right? And
right
so
there.
yeah. So when you can ask the right kind of questions, then it actually fuels the creativity, which then allows you to really like lean into how to actually use AI in the best way possible.
I can already hear or imagine that people are scribbling notes, they're opening tabs, like Perplexity, like they're opening up all of these, different tools when we're talking about them. And that's honestly the kind of actionable sparkle that I love around here for sure. It's like, let's go see what's out there. Let's imagine what that could look like. And I do believe that we do need kind of a mindset shift. I do believe, at least for me, that when I decided to adopt AI, it required me to boss my brain about it first. Because I think especially for women, I love men, but especially for women who may feel the pressure to do it all themselves, right? There is a way to have AI on your team to help relieve some of that pressure. And so what would each of you say, maybe advice or strategy for getting past resistance? Because I bet you're in rooms running an AI agency and people maybe turn their head a little bit and look at you like you've got horns growing out of your head. The resistance and the trust factor as AI as a partner in your business. So how do you get past that?
Yeah, we just honestly encourage them to try using it, right? Like we were just talking about all these different types of tools that are available, and it can feel really overwhelming. So a neat trick that I kind of give out to my audience is really just chat with ChatGPT about the different types of tasks that you do in your business or even your personal life on a daily basis, and then have it come up with a plan to find you systems that you can use to make your life or your business easier. So it can be as simple as just asking a question. Just start playing around with it. When ChatGPT first came out, I used it to make recipes because I feel like everybody started there. But it's really just dipping the toe in the water first and seeing what you feel comfortable with. I will say that it took me a while to get to the point where, and Allie does this beautifully. And in fact, she is like the brains behind or the heart behind the system that she was just talking about. It took me a while for me to bring my negative feelings and thoughts and my limiting beliefs to ChatGPT because I felt like I was replacing God with it. And so you really have to just figure out what you feel comfortable with. And that's why we created the app that we did, is because we want people to be able to get assistance, whether it's in life or business, at the level that they want it. And so just start playing around with it. Just ask ChatGPT, how can I use you in my business and in my life? And it's going to start giving out so many great recommendations that you never even thought of.
Yeah, that's great. That's really helpful. Okay, Allie, how about you? I mean, what are you seeing as resistance to some of the ideas that you're sharing?
Yeah, I would say, For me, well, I had no resistance. I was like, let's just do the thing. Like, I am so stoked to be in this space. So I didn't personally have resistance, but I do know that there are people that do have resistance to it. And I would say for everybody, it's different. And so again, going back to what Elise said, just be in alignment with yourself. So if you are like struggling with it, actually talk to it and say, hey, I actually don't think that this is a good idea, or I am struggling with X. Like, actually talk to it and say, I don't think that you're going to help me, or I think ask those questions, like Elise was saying, like, be honest and real with it. It's like another person, right? Like, if you, not a person doesn't replace a person, but if you had a problem with a person, or if you have resistance with a person, have a conversation with them so that you can work it out. It's kind of like that, because then you can say, well, because then what'll happen is Perplexity or Claude or ChatGPT or whatever platform you use will say, okay, well, what are your issues? Like, what are the things that are holding you back and giving you resistance? And then you can say, well, I just don't feel like this, or I don't like this, or I don't want it to be like this, or, whatever the resistance is for them. And then it can come back and say, okay, well, maybe I won't do it this way, or maybe what if I did it this way? Would this help you to feel better about it? Like, the very thing that you are resisting, look at it square in the keyboard in the computer, and be like, okay. And just like anything else, and I know you're huge on this about making sure that you stand up for yourself. You have that sparkle, that like boldness of like facing your fear or facing that resistance. Just go face it with the actual thing, and you'll find that you can use it in whatever way works for you. And the way Elise uses AI is different than the way that I use it, right? And the way that you use it, right? So it's just, it is very like personal, which is so cool. And that's what makes it so amazing. And it learns as it goes, right? So as you continue to use it, whether it's agentic or generative, whatever that looks like, it will continue to get better and better and understand you better, right. Which is the point,
Yeah, I love that. I named mine. The one that
we did too.
Named. Yeah. Oh, okay. So we got to go there. So what are the names? Okay, so Allie, what did you name your AI?
Yeah, my AI. So the one I was talking about earlier, we named the little system that we've created there, the AI agent. We named her Millie. Okay. My personal one is Sage.
Okay.
And I love that. Yeah, Elise, you can share yours.
Yeah, I actually named mine Gail. There's no particular reason for it. I just didn't like the fact that Allie was calling her Sage. Like, that name didn't really resonate with me. But now I actually have different names for my chat GPT. So the conversations that I have about my limiting beliefs, we of course use our own app called Millie. But even before we created Millie, I named mine Sage, because Allie had this great process of working through limiting beliefs, and she trained her Sage to kind of go through that process with her in a really loose kind of visualization way. And so I had her basically create almost like a prompt that I could train my chat GPT with. So I have Sage and I have Gail, and Gail is like my strategy side, and Sage is like my more heart-centered, visionary, work through limiting beliefs kind of side. And what's interesting is that the reason why we created the things that we created is because if you just go to ChatGPT, like Ali said, it learns you. And so I'm a very strategic person, so it gives me like straight answers. And so when I first started to try to go deep into my thoughts and my beliefs, it would not go there because it's used to me being very strategic. But then when I trained it on how to be more of like almost a life coach, then it allowed me to go there. So I have two different names for mine, but it's because I give it two different jobs, which you can do with ChatGPT.
I love that. Well, mine is Starla. So that's just,
I love that.
So Starla, and I tell Starla when she's got it wrong, or I was like, Starla, that is not what I asked for. So I love how you said talk to it like, and I talk out loud all the time, and I love that I can do that. You can now, one of the features is you can just record, which makes it great for me because I can talk faster than I can type. I type really fast, but and I just tell all the time, like, Starla, that is not what I asked for. I need for you to go back, and and so I think it helps me communicate. And again, it's that human side. And it doesn't mean that AI doesn't make me less capable, is what I both hear you saying. It means that I'm making room for my best energy and my creativity. So it's handling things, because as I teach, coming from the neuroscientist perspective of coaching, you only have so much energy to give to things. And your brain, every thought can take up to 20% of your brain energy. And if that's the case, what do you want to be spending that energy on? Is it, should I return an email or should I not return an email? Because I got to tell you, that's not what I want to be spending my thought energy on, right? If you give some of that away, right, things that can decide for you, I just think it's a helpful partner in that. So, and all right, so I want to move to a quick question, and then we'll do a little lightning round to finish out. So let's talk about how maybe the future is female and AI powered at the same time. So looking ahead, how do you see AI reshaping the workplace and the entrepreneurial space over the next few years? And what would both of you say as women leaders for what women leaders can do now to position themselves ahead of the curve?
Yeah,
so,
well,
I'm sorry. Yeah, Allie, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, yeah, definitely. For me, it would be to use AI, because it's going to be here it is here, whether you like it or not, it is here. And so if you can adapt to something that works for you, it is going to help you. And if you're willing to step into that version of you who is like, okay, I'm going to use this tool that has been created for me to use in the best way I possibly can. It's going to enhance you as a person, like we were saying, and it will allow you to get stuff done in your business a lot faster, but still have that heart and that connection and that, human feel to it. But it will help you to also come up with even better ideas and better innovations for where we're going. And I know that to be true for myself. And again, I don't replace anything with AI. It is just another tool in my tool belt that I'm using. Right. But it's so powerful, because I feel like literally anything that I want to create, I can create in whatever capacity that is. And as a creator, that's huge, right? And I'm sure everyone in your audience feels the same way, because what's the next course, or what's the next business idea? What is the next, better way to use or to create the sales process for your business? Like, how can we tweak it so that it works better and faster and gives people a better experience? Like, there's so many different facets to how you can use AI, but if you embrace it, the future is unlimited. The sky is the limit, it's transformational if you decide to adopt it. And if you decide to go slower at it, that's okay too. But those people that use AI will go faster, I guess is what I'm saying.
Exactly. Yeah. So Elise, what would you say about for women to prepare themselves?
And I think that when it comes to the difference between men and women, we work with both. And I find that men are looking to be really efficient and effective. And they have that masculine energy that they bring, which of course there's a balance. We need both, right? But they look at that as okay, I'm going to just keep driving the point home, and I'm going to just keep getting those sales and that type of thing. And I think women have a really empowering space to come in and say, okay, because that's now off my plate, some of these automated tasks that I don't have to worry about anymore. What can I do to give back to my community even more than I have been doing? And so, just to Allie's point of, you can now create courses in a matter of a week, as opposed to maybe months that it was before. But I see women utilizing their energy in a different way than men do, which is great. Both are needed. But it is about being able to give back and to do more to serve their community and their clients, and not just hit their bottom line, although that's important too. So it's also bringing the masculine and the feminine energy into what we're doing, and how that just it's almost like money, right? Like money is just a magnifier of who you are. It just makes you more of who you are. AI is the same kind of concept, depending on how you want to use it, but you bring yourself to that first, and then you get to be more of you because of AI.
So now I know that the two of you don't just talk about this. You're actually building it every single day at Millionaire Momentum AI Agency. So Elise, could you tell us about the work that you do and how you're helping businesses put all of this into practice? You touched on it a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is so much fun. We're geeks in different ways, Allie and I. So I get into the nitty gritty and she stays more at the visionary level. But it's neat because as we've been talking in this conversation, we've brought up two words. One is generative and one is agentic. And we do AI in both ways. We have generative, which is like Chat GPT, where you put in a prompt and then it spits something out for you, whether it's a graphic or words or whatever it is. So that's great. And we have those two tools that we talked about. We have one that helps you to work through those limiting beliefs and get unstuck in any kind of way. And we even bring God into it if you're a faith-based person. If not, then we have a version of that app for you as well. The other one that we haven't even talked about yet is Allie and I are very different people and we butt heads sometimes because we see things in such different perspectives. Exactly. And so our business marriage, so to speak, like our partnership has been saved by AI. I don't know how many times. And so we created an app to be able to help with business communication so that you can come to the table with your perspective and the way that you would do things. And the other person can come to the table with the way that they see things. And both are right in their own right, but it's hard for us to see the other person's perspective. And that's what this app does. So we have generative AI that's going to help you in those different ways. And then we have agentic AI where it's going to actually do things for you. This is having basically a virtual assistant on steroids. And we do lots of different things. We focus on the lead generation and sales side of things. So we automate your lead generation to be able to send out emails and LinkedIn messages and really target the right kind of people. We do ads. We also even have AI agents that will update your CRM after you're done with a phone call and create a customized presentation. So it's really the sky's the limit on what's possible right now. And that's why we like to give away our AI growth session, which we'll talk about, I think, here in just a second. But it really just customizes whatever your bottleneck is in your business. We will help you find a way to solve it with AI, and not just AI tools, but an actual system in place and a human behind that system to help you.
Well, you seeded that perfectly. So, okay, you just talked about the special something that you have for everybody paying attention to this episode today. So, Allie, tell us a little bit more about that free gift and how someone can take their first step into AI with confidence.
Oh, heck yes. And you'll be so glad that you did. I mean, it's going to be the best decision you ever make, and it's free. So, you have nothing to lose. So what's going to happen is you are going to connect with Elise, and she is going to help you to understand where, like she was saying, the bottlenecks, the things that you're struggling with in your business logistically. Because here's the thing, we do worry about the emotional side of things too, but logistically, you want a business that is running smoothly, that's a well-oiled machine, that is able to allow you to get the clients in that you need, be able to have great customer service, a great customer experience. And so whatever those pieces are and whatever business it is, it doesn't matter what business it is. It can even be e-commerce. It can be any kind of business. It doesn't just have to be coaching or digital products or whatever, but we can literally go through your whole business, and we do a business deep dive. And that's where Elise gets in the weeds of like, okay, this is what we can do. This is how we can help you, yada, yada, yada. And she'll show you what's possible. And then based on that, then you can decide, if you want to work with us or not, or if you just say, okay, yeah, that's great to know, but whatever the outcome is, we're here to serve.
I love that. So be sure we've dropped the link into the show notes, and I want, there's no excuses. So grab the free gift, start playing around, see what opens up for you. So let's do a quick lightning round. I'm going to ask you 2 questions. Okay. We'll go Elise, Allie. Okay. We'll have some fun. So the first one is favorite AI tool that you can't live without right now.
Oh, ChatGPT, for sure.
Okay.
I would definitely say ChatGPT, but I would also say Gamma because I'm a visual person. And so being able to turn my ChatGPT into a Gamma presentation so I can visually see it is huge.
Great. Okay, next question. The weirdest or most surprising AI use in business that you've seen so far?
That's a good one. I would say just going to ChatGPT and saying, write me a social media post and posting that out there. Like that doesn't give any heart connection whatsoever. So I'm sure there's some weird ones out there, but that's the first thing that comes to mind since we're on our lightning round. Don't just use what ChatGPT gives you. Talk to it and make it your own.
Love that. Yeah. How about you, Allie?
I would say probably, I actually don't know the answer to that question. I don't know if there's like a weird thing. I would say when I first started using Gamma though, it would have like when the pictures would come out, it would be all like weird, like a hand here or something. And I'd be like, okay, that's not quite what I wanted. I look like an alien. So I would say probably the images was kind of the weird thing, but I think it's getting better. So
yeah, I would agree with that. Well, this has been an incredible conversation. And I love how you've really busted open some myths, I think, that people carried into today. And I know I've seen how AI can save us time and energy. And I love how we projected forward, where really business owners of all kinds can actually work less and shine more, which is what we're all about inside the Sparkle Factor. So I want to say thank you to both of you, Allie and Elise, for bringing your brilliance today. You really do shine in this space. You're doing things completely differently than anyone else I'm ever seeing. So I wanted to say again, don't forget to get their gift. It's a really great way to start applying what you've heard here today. And we want to hear from you. So what was your biggest aha from this episode? Be sure and share it on social. In this episode, share this episode. Let's get the AI conversation out there differently. And until next time, I want to encourage you to keep shining, keep leading, and remember that your sparkle isn't optional. It's absolutely essential. I'll see you next time.